Hey guys, two quick questions. Number one, what the fuck am I looking at? Number two, can can you stop? Can we can we not do this for 5 seconds?
Okay, disclaimer, most of if not all of this video is going to go unscripted, so warning there. Secondly, I'm not here to talk about all the drama that goes around this fan comic. It's not my place to do so. Instead, I'm going to link the original call out for you to read. And if reading isn't your thing, I also linked a video talking about the call out and such that went around during this time. Enjoy the video nonetheless. So, the beginning and the friend, huh? Yeah, it's not really good. I could go on for hours to why I do not like this comic, but that's not what I'm here for today. Today, I'm here to talk about the characters put into said fan comic. Now, one thing is, I have no problem with people wanting to insert their own OCs and such into their own fan content for a piece of media they love. I do that a lot, and I make a lot of OCs. I should know I have too many to count and too many Eddsworld OCs to count, but that's not the point. What I'm saying is, you have to make your characters work in the world that they live in. If you don't, then they may as well be in another piece of media entirely. And yes, I do know that the majority of the characters inserted in the beginning and the friend have been put into the creator's own work. But thing is that maybe it should have been done in the first place. None of these original characters feel like that they should be taking place in something as slapstick and Newgrounds humor as Eddsworld. They feel too dark and even too out of place when it comes to something like Eddsworld. Hell, even the main villain, Tord, feels so out of character and out of place and his own character, like something that's not from Eddsworld. And now you may be asking, but Sketchy, isn't this supposed to be a redesign video? Where are you going with this? Well, my dear viewer, here's one thing that I've learned as someone who's both a character creator and also a part-time writer. I like to think that any concept for a character can work. It's just more of the execution that you need to worry about. And boy, did the creators do a horrible execution of the characters. So today I will be giving these characters proper justice and how you can actually weave them into a universe such as Eddsworld. And as a shout out, thank you to NCO for helping me with this video. I could not thank you enough for helping me with the designs. Right, let's start with something the most familiar. Red Leader. Oh, there's so many things I can say about this damn design. Let's start with what we don't like about it. First off, the face. Those are not burn marks, as so many people said. That is a moldy piece of bread with cheese. Something that frickin' Wallace of all characters could probably sneer at. And he's a really polite guy. That's saying something. So I decided to change it up a bit more to something more familiar. First off, keeping the original Red Army uniform designs, or at least a touch of it. And secondly, adding something that's not in reference to usual villain army men like that you see in media. I decided to take inspiration from Warhammer 40k Commissar, and I think it fits him much better. It makes him a bit more goofy as I wanted to make him. The burn skull I had to look up a lot of images of to try and get it at least looking right. But the most I saw is that most burn skulls are usually pinkish, reddish, you know, like Red Army. But anyways, I hope I did some justice on the face, especially with the eye. The eye, we never really got an explanation to why Red Leader in the comics had a red eye, which I just, was like, bro, just at that point, put a freaking eye patch on. Like, it's not hard. So I decided to go with another route if we're just redesigning it. Instead of an eye patch, I decided to imply that this new eye of his is supposed to be a robotic eye that he inserted in himself. Something of the latest technology, I guess, that he, cyberized into himself. Something that's far more advanced than what future Matt and Tom have. To sort of like show the power dynamic, I suppose. And speaking of like robotic placements, the robotic arm, like I know what the original creators were going for, but I decided to also change the design of the robot arm a bit so it makes a bit more sense and a bit more stylized. But that's just me personally. Now let's go on to how I would change up the character in comic, personality-wise. One thing that I do not like is how they made him sociopathic and like anti-social personality and such, because it's really ableist and isn't good representation to what Tord is supposed to be. Tord, in the end, is cunning, manipulative, sly, and he only shows his mania near the end when he finally got what he wants. So I decided that instead of whatever the heck is going on in the fan comic, this reimagined version of Red Leader has a more Disney villain, Invader Zim sort of personality. And his motive is that he looked at the world that we live in and thought, you know what, I'm going to make it into my own vision, so there would be no more hardships, no more bad stuff anymore, because our world sucks. But of course, like any leader that's in power that has like this big army, of course he is going to go a little hungry with power, so that's basically his fatal flaw when it comes to villain personalities. But it's definitely nothing as serious or grim or dark as whatever the freaking comic creators were thinking of. Like, what the heck, people? I hope this version of Tord is much better than the original comic. Yeah. Next, we have Richard. I decided to use him as a sort of base to look off of for the other two characters. Let's start off with his original design. So, I don't think people really realize that Richard's design is mostly a German stereotype. You know, blonde hair, blue eyes. Yeah, that's a big no-no. I decided to scrap that entirely and decided to go with something different. So now he has strawberry blonde hair instead, and his eyes aren't blue, they are like black like the rest of Eddsworld style. He is supposed to be a foot soldier, a private or soldier in this reimagine of him. So that explains that he's more geared up, more armed, to show that he's ready for battle and all. The big inspiration for this redesign was Stout Trooper soldiers. I think I got it pretty well, and I even put in the original Red Army uniform designs into this as well to, show that he's still part of the Red Army. His new backstory for being in the Red Army, instead of him being like this German character who can't die and is a soft, ooey boy. Do not let me say that ever again, by the way. Instead, in this case, Richard is college-year-old dropout, I would say, who decided to enlist in the Red Army because of all the propaganda that was fed to him, and he decided, you know what, I'm going to join the Red Army. Heck yeah, they have a good cause. I want to help. And so basically I decided to make Richard a bit more complex and even a bit realistic when it comes to people going into the military of, I'm young, and the military is so cool, I want to join in, when it's not really all glam and glamorous as, you know, people make it out to be. So yeah, this is my interpretation of Richard. Look at how cute he is. Oh wait, he has a gun. Run. Oh, Briana. Oh, what to talk about her? She's pretty much like, there's no reason for her to really be in the original comic. Like, all she really is well, very, very much a jerk, and quick to be angry, which is kind of a lesbian stereotype, like angry lesbian stereotype. And I don't really like that at all. And plus, the way that they say that, like, she is a lesbian is just, it feels so pushed in. So I decided to change Briana a bit more to be like more than what creators made her out to be. For one thing, stripping her title of sergeant, because apparently from what NCO said, that's not how military ranks work when there's like someone higher in power. So instead, she's going to be a lieutenant, and her design is based more on a lieutenant stormtrooper, like from Star Wars. And I think I made the design pretty well in this. Still giving her like references to her original design, but still making it something that you would see in Eddsworld. And her new backstory is that she's been in the Red Army for a while because, like Richard, she also believed in the Red Army cause. But since she's been in the Red Army for a while, she's started to question everything, but of course she wouldn't say it out loud. God forbid that happens. And because of her high-ranking power, she's constantly under stress, and which makes her very irritable. But it gives her a reason to be like stressed and angry. I mean, if you're in a higher state of power with like idiots running around, of course you would also be angry, I would assume. And I like to think that she's a good person at heart in this reimagine. Caring for people a bit more than like getting angry at them. Even getting concerned over Red Leader's mental health and how he's going about things. But yeah, this is Briana. Last but not least is Vlad. God, where do I start with this man? First off, huge Russian stereotype. I mean, the backstory, just what he is. It's all Russian stereotyping. A criminal history, rarely smiles, frickin' 8-foot, scary, strong man, only speaks Russian, which, by the way, was all done in Google Translate. What were you even thinking, comic creators? Everything about him is just so out of place in an Eddsworld universe. So I decided to really change up his design to be something similar to his beta design that I saw while looking for references for these guys. So now, instead of a sergeant major, he is now a colonel. Colonel? I don't know how to pronounce that. Whatever. His design is mainly based off of a stormtrooper as well, with some inspirations from Richard's base design as well, in this case. And I decided to give his skull-like face a more smoother and rounder face and head to fit in with the Eddsworld style a bit more. I also changed his hair as well. That's also a reference to his beta design. Now he looks less like a casino mob boss, as one of my friends called it. His new backstory, instead of him being a father whose daughter is kidnapped or something, and now he's part of the Red Army because he's forced into it. Vladimir here is now just a Russian who's a veteran in war. He joined the Red Army because he fully believes in the cause, and war and military-like situations is where he feels most at home. And he finds himself being a right-hand man to Red Leader. One new factor about this version of Vlad is he finds himself superior to Red Leader, and that he thinks he could act as a better leader of the Red Army than Todd could ever be. But of course, he doesn't want to risk his position saying that out loud. So for now, he acts as Lieutenant Colonel, I guess that's what it's called. I cannot pronounce that word right. I cannot word right now. I cannot English right now. And here are the final designs to these main 4 villain characters. I think I did a better job at making these characters feel like that it would be in a more Eddsworld feel, I guess. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and to send this all off, I'm going to show you, the viewers, my headcanon voices for these insert OCs. If anyone wants to see more content like this, let me know in the comments. Alright, catch ya on the flip side.
Dogtide's time! Wake up! Oh yeah, I feel a good undulation. Your rumbling is excellent. I think I'm going to lose the bowel control. Yeah! I've been waiting for you! I'm ready whenever you are!
So the pirate leaders made you do it, eh? Relax, Mr. Threepwood. I know why you're here. Believe me, you're not the first who's tried. Although I have to admit, not many get as far as you have. I've wanted to meet you ever since I heard your fascinating name.
Got a job for you, Marked One. I want you to find a stalker called Nimble. He was carrying some very important information. He disappeared somewhere near the bridge. Find him. Dead or alive, I don't care. I need the flash drive with the info.